you need the how do you call translator? The question is there any, I don't know what is the real the translation of Sanya Vedaita Nirodha. Sanya Vedaita Nirodha and the Nibbana. It is two states of consciousness, so it's the same thing. That's the question. Of course, it is a worthwhile question because when you study the Tripitaka, very vague explanations are there. But Venerable Katukurunja Jnananda, one of our, everyone knows, he was my mentor, and he took it up and he told Sanya Vedaita Nirodha is possible for Anagami disciples, those who have 8 Rupa and Arupa Jhana. That means material and non-materialistic jhana. And he can go for both there for 7 days and come back. Sanya Vedaita Nirodha. And then when Katakurunde says, whenever he awaken after the 7 days, he will be given a choice of 3 doorways, Appahanita, Sunyata and Animitta. And one of them will be the immediate door entering to the Nibbana. So after getting up from the Sanya Vedaita Nirodha, he directly go into the Nibbana. And there onward he can go up to the Palasamapatti, not the Nirodha Palasamapatti. So therefore there's a difference. But while you are in the absorption, whether it is equal experience or not, very difficult to judge. Because Sanya and Vedana is absent. So there is no measurement is working. It's not fathomable. It is not measurable. And Arihata Palasamapatti also not measurable. But thing is there that Nirodha Palasamapatti once awakened, not the awakened, once came out, he has to have his meal within 24 days, otherwise he will pass away. And then soon after coming, he will go on alms rounds, and anyone who is lucky to give a meal for such a person, going to give immediate results. Because otherwise that particular person will end his life. So therefore it has a very special, but that kind of attribution is not there for the Arihata Palasamapatti. Nirodha Palasamapatti only this kind of a colorful, this thing is a very ethical problem or any karma and karma force kind of a explanation. This is very vividly explained in the Dhammapada Attakatha. So therefore there is a difference in the Nirodha Palasamapatti and Nibbana. And same chance I took, and the question came from her, whether Sotapatti Pala also could be used as an absorption, Palasamapatti. Of course it is possible. But then I took a chance to explain the person who reached that the extreme enterer, or the first Magga he knowingly or unknowingly, whenever he gives the necessary conducive condition, he or she may go into an abide by the Palasamapatti and come back again, go there. So it is a very rejuvenating, it is very refreshing, it is very healing. So mind is happy to go there. But after a while, the happiness, the oceanic feeling fades off. So therefore he himself or she herself will understand earlier it was very nice and attractive and kind of thing. Now exactly the same, but the taste is reducing. Under such circumstances, if he or she consulted experienced master, he will also put some acid test and say, sometimes make a determination so that your mind will not go for Palasamapatti for 2 weeks or number of days, 20 days or whatever may be. And within that again you try to practice in the intensive way. And then without the help of this Palasamapatti, he or she has to undergo basic Vipassana knowledges again. That means starting from the Udyabhya Jnana, then hardships come. Instead of directly going and abiding in the Sotapatti Palama Jnana, Palasamapatti, If the hardship happens, the teacher knows now the determination is working. And he or she has to go through it, and then the culmination happen in this very life. Sometimes can go into the second magga, pala, or otherwise after 20 days time he will come back and resort to the already achieved Sotapatti magga pala. So likewise there is a kind of some teachers have some techniques. When Jnanarama he used to explain this, and the teacher Pandita also explained the same way. This is the way one is going from one to the other with with monitoring, or let it happen in a natural course. If the monitoring is necessary, what you have to do is stop your already achieved the jnana by determination for limited number of days and let the mind to play, earn it completely from the scratch, from the beginning. And that is the way go to the second. This is not a brief one, this is a long answer. Question is that whether the Anapanasati Bhavana, that means the mindfulness on in-breath and out-breath, is it enough to reach path knowledge and the fruition knowledge? So how do you feel? How do you know? How do you feel? Is it enough or not? Is Anapanasati Bhavana enough for the realization or not? Do I have no any idea?
I think not enough.
Not enough, but I say yes enough.
Still I'm wrong.
So that's why that when you are reading that Anapanasati Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, the Buddha is reiterating. It is saying if you do only one single Anapana, you can go. And he says not through the 37 factors of enlightenment. He take the shortcuts. On the 4 foundation of mindfulness, you will be fulfilled only by Anapana. And from there you will go shortcut to the 7 factors of enlightenment and then cut to the Nibbana. So therefore Anapana is good. And the next one is, can someone reach Nibbana without walking meditation? That we can keep the issue open, but only thing is, the possible statement is, with walking meditation the trip is easier. The meditation is easier and conducive, so therefore it is like warming up the body before the athletes are warming up their body before the events. Then only they can go and perform nicely. Likewise, the walking meditation is a precursor for the guardian meditation life.
Excuse me, Bante. I would like to ask about Anapanasati, because as I heard last night, Bante was explaining about the true nature of Rupa, like it was disturbed by Sitena, Unhena, extra, and then finally Bante talked also about Anapanasati. So please give more explanation about Anapanasati and in relation, in understand the true nature of the Rupa. Or in Bante also saying that it can be shortcut to attain the...
Yeah, Anapanasati Sutta is the quotation directly answering your question, where Anapanasati Sutta, when you are studying, it's a 4 tetrads. First tetrad is talking about the Kayanupassana, dwelling on the body. Second tetrad is on the feelings. Third one is on the chitta, the mental conditions. Fourth one is the whole phenomena. And your question is related to the first tetrad, that is the Kayanupassana. Kaya means the matter. And very nice few points coming out of this sutta, the Kajjaniya Sutta. The Buddha says, what does it mean by Rupa? What is the meaning of this matter? He says, which is subjected to changes. Something like, say, subjected to the heat and cold, subject to the hunger and the thirst, subject to the piercing animals and the crawling animals and all the kind of thing. That is what is called Rupa. Rupa is always subjected to the heat and cold, thirst and the hunger kind of thing. And very nicely, when Jnanananda argues, that means whole universe is not Rupa. What is subjected to your senses are the Rupa in the Buddha's meaning. every available rupa is not the what Buddha is asking. He says, whatever the rupa, that means visual objects, sounds, smells, taste, contacts, everything, whatever may be avenued, whenever may be come to face with your senses, are the only troublemakers. If you understand that little amount, you can go to Nibbana. Whole universe is not available, not necessary. It is not the one creating suffering. Creating suffering is whatever you contact with. So therefore, whatever you like most is the one giving the highest suffering. That is the one you always contact. Buddha says that's the source of suffering. And piyato jayati soko, pemato jayati soko. Whatever maybe you have any liking, your dear and near one is the cutthroat method. They will cut throat. Definitely. You will not be happy to tell because it is uncivilized. You always believe the dear and near ones are the ones to give the guardians, ones to give our security, our taking care of our things and kind of thing. But see, completely against. These are the very thing going to torture you, going to burn you, going to distort you. That is the source of suffering. So therefore take care about all the near and dear ones. Your immaterial and material. Living and non-living. That is the beauty of renunciation. Knowingly that, you get a distance from it. So that is usually going against the ethics in the world. That is why very difficult to popularize the Buddhism, because people think that some person who has a lot of earnings or possessions, assets, are rich. They are well to do. But the Buddha said they are the real sufferers in the world. Even after the death also, they are suffering. After my death, what happened to my properties? What happened to my children? What happened to my cows? While living also, they are suffering things related to the after death. So that's a beautiful thing. I don't know whether I explain it properly in Dhamma talk, because I was worried because a lot of people came from the Dayaka. They are not preparing for this kind of meditation, so I try to keep my talk something digestible for them, but I feel sorry. Because I have to take my swing for the meditation retreat. There I have to tell you, while you are in the white clothes and while you are in the 10 precepts, mind your own business, be careful about the near and dear ones. That's all. It is not the, I am only asking them to make an ill will for this thing. But mind you, this is the root of suffering, the cause of suffering. They are all matters. So therefore, one point is, whatever the rupa, definition of rupa means, what is connected to you through senses. Others are not, it is not none of your business. Don't worry about them. Whatever come along. And whenever you are seeing, whenever you are hearing, if you know, now I am hooked up with visual object, now I am hooked up with sounds, now I am hooked up with smell, taste, that you are aware that this is the nearest cause for the suffering. But in the case of the course of the day, we don't know. When we become a seer, when we become a hearer, when we become smell, we become tasting, we don't know. It is happening without an agenda. So you can understand how vulnerable is the life. What matter, what is the thing we are observing? Whether it's a visual thing, or sound, or taste, or smell, they are changing without an agenda. So therefore matter is at the helm, so it is controlling you. You can't control it. That is why the Buddha says, whenever you see, note it seeing. When the hearing happens, note it as hearing. Smelling, tasting, touching. So it is difficult in the day-to-day. That's why while you are in the walking, you have to note left, right. That means you know the rupa applicable and related to that particular thought moment. That means you are directly with the touch with the truth of suffering. Whenever you understand totally the matter avenue to your particular senses, that is the pathway leading to Nibbana. No other things. Whatever maybe you are confronted with. If you are aware, if you are master, if you understand, Now I am touching, I am talking, I am listening. Your path is open. And that is the only thing you have to master. Don't worry about the past and the future. Don't worry about the unseen things. Don't worry about the unrelated things. They are unwanted suffering you all are thinking about. Always think about what is not here. That is upon which one the ego is dwelling. Ego never happy to be here. Never happy to be now. Never happy to be with me. Whenever it comes, ego dissolves. Instead, we are talking about unrelated thing. That is the matter, the commonest thing. But Buddha says this is not the case. I am telling whatever the matter, avenue to your particular moment is the truth of suffering. Knowing that is the way out of suffering. Understand?
Understand only in theory, but in practice.
Definitely in theory, otherwise you would have become arahant now. English question. Often you feel pains, example, in legs, knees, etc. After some times, during meditation, see, Anapanasati Bhavana, often you feel pains after some times during the meditation. What is the proper way to handle these type of pains? Is there a recommended duration of Paryanka Bhavana? The first question is that how to tackle this pain. Yeah, so one has to basically understand, as one of the early question mentions, whole body is nothing but a agglomeration of pain. If there is no pain, we are dead. Pain is a feeling. Feeling is the one to indicate that you are living. So therefore, either pleasurable or painful. Feeling is an agglomeration of the heap of pain. So there is, if you are going to get rid of, have some kind of anti-insecticide or something like that, and then finished. No pain, no problem. Or anesthetize yourself, no pain. Or if you can go for paralyzed, for half part of your body will go without pain. And then you will start crying, this part earlier I had pain, now no pain. And you are going to the doctor and ask him to heal it so that you can feel pain. So pain is without and with all the kind of troublesome. So if you get rid of, easy ways are available. But the Buddha, he says not to get rid of pain, he says see through the pain. That is the only way. That is the only difference in the vipassana. And once you see through it, it is no more your question, it's a question of the nature. When the pain arises, if you understand this is the pain, and if possible without a label, it's very hard. But even label happens if you understand the label, this is a pleasurable, this is painful, and then see oncoming pleasure and outgoing pleasure, oncoming pain and outgoing pain, then you understand it is sum total is the same, whatever it may be. So that is the way you put up your immunity as and when the meditation goes on, and there is no getting rid of pain, but it is a see-through. Be face to face with the pain. So see through. Once you see through it, you become the master on the situation, and your tolerance, your bearability, your capacity is ever increasing. And it is not a punishment. For example, when you go to a scout camp or a scout jamboree, you are coming from the luxury and going to the forest and exposing yourself to the nature, and you are undergoing hardships, but it's a training. It is not a punishment. The training is a qualification. And if you are a soldier, you have to go through normal practice, normal training. But if you are a special task as soldier, you have to undergo a special kind of training. And then you will be an asset, a national asset. Therefore, this training is not a punishment. So Buddha says exactly the way. This is also explaining after the Kayanupassana, you are going to the Vedanupassana. It is a qualified people only can tackle Once once qualified to the Kayanupassana, then only you become qualified to the Vedananupassana, and then putting up your threshold value more and more. So therefore, this indicates what's the proper way to handle these type of pains, see through. If they are recommended duration for Paryanka Bhavana, there is no as such, but standard way is 1 hour sitting and 1 hour walking. But later, you can adjust yourself according to the efficiency. This is for the standard method. For the group, but individual, adjust yourself according to the, as you continue. I assume that you explain the basic of Vipassana meditation, between bracket with Anapana, through your sermon at the end of the second day. It is correct. Usually at the Rupa level, still we are talking about the Rupakhanda, Kincha Bhikkave Rupang Vadeta, there are still, chances are there to go for the Samatha Vipassana both. That means exceeding the Kamavachara Loka, entering into the Rupavachara Loka still can happen in the Samatha way. And Rupavachara method, one can look from the Vipassana point of view also. So therefore, if someone felt this is a explanation about the Vipassana, I mean, it's a possible observation, but we must not, one must not make a theoretical exclusion telling matter is only related to the Vipassana, because matter can be through matter or the Kasina Bhavana or Anapana, one can go to Samatha also. So therefore, usually I am biased to Vipassana, that is the way. Therefore, this observation may be correct. Venerable Bhante, could you give summary of every sermon in English? I can understand who is writing this. It might be not suitable for the night Dhamma talk, because there is a lot of Sinhalese who might not understand English. But for the afternoon Dhamma talk, I hope you will give summary in English. This is what we did in the Toronto, Wellington, and yeah. And last time Perth also we did it, but this time we gave the equal treatment, one day English, one day Sinhala alike. So, but if I can make you possible, I think it is possible. I'll make a photostat copy of this sermon in English. It will be good for you to understand the basic teaching. It is in Sangyutta Nikaya, Kanda Sangyutta. I have the book. You better get it. And so far, it is the Buddha is mentioning about that anyone recollecting the past, they are recollecting nothing but the 5 aggregates and 5 clingings, with the past or future, and or related to thing. And then he says that what are the 5 clingings? That is materiality, feeling, and kind of. And he says, what does it mean by the matter? Then he says, matter means something irritating you, something torturing you, something hitting you, something inflicting you. So that means Buddha is not talking about all the matters in the universe. He says whatever come and inflict you, come and impinge you, come and connect with you, relate with your senses. And if you are mastering that, you understand the truth of suffering as well as the way out of truth of suffering also. So that is a special meaning he gives. What is the meaning of matter? What the teaching of Buddha, whatever the confronted, whatever avenued, whatever impinge you. Therefore the Buddha says, don't worry about the rest of the rupas in the world which is not yet come into face-to-face with. But whatever not avenued with you, this is unwanted suffering. Essential suffering is, essential rupa means whatever already confronted with. So, and Vedana also, he keep on explaining the same kind of applicability. I mean, it's about the bare minimum or intrinsic part of each of us. But all the yogis and others, they are reading books and come out with all the muck and start meditating, unrelated matter, unrelated feeling, unrelated sanya, and never ending. So they are not hitting the target. They are not. They are beating at the bush. So that's what the theory is. Theory is always never give a peace. So always says, yes, I did it, it is okay, but what about this, what about that, what about this list, and kind of unwantedly proliferating. You are proliferating suffering. But the Buddha says, whatever confronted you is what I am referring, be limited to that. Then the meditation is very easy. Because meditation is becoming a teacher. Whatever confronted is your guideline. And now I am going to take the, already we have, yes, it's necessary English explanation also, but I will take the Sinhala part. They are asking, last time in the talk, I mentioned that when you are observing an object, for example, in-breath and out-breath, or rising and falling, or left leg and the right leg, whatever you see at the beginning of a meditation is the most gross, most matured form of the rising, in-breath and the out-breath, rising, falling, right leg, left. Because your mindfulness is not mature, concentration is not there. So the instructions are given, don't wait till the object becomes so mature, try to catch it as early as possible. As the in-breath starts, not only just see the in-breath, see the beginning of the in-breath, how it begins. Just like you see the dawn, not the sun. How the dawn is coming and becoming a sun. Likewise, you try to see, let the breathing happen, try to catch it as early as possible. So slowly, your mind will train to see not only the middle, the beginning. Beginning and the middle slowly. And then sensitivity increases, mindfulness and the concentration. So it becomes a habit. It becomes a hobby, you to not to delay, but to become diligent and see as and when the object arises. Then you start to see the beginning and the middle. When that happens, once you become familiarized that same graph will allow you to see not only the beginning, the middle, but it's a cessation part also going to happen. So this is the mind is working. At the beginning it catch only the middle, gross part. You have to train to see its beginning part. And then the bonus what you get is the cessation part also. So Namarupa Parichaya is referring only seeing the peak, the gross area. Paccapariggha jnana means see the object together with its origin. That means together with the starting point. And now you are bound to see the beginning and the beginning and the middle. And when that is very familiarized, you can see is beginning not end up with the middle, is end up with the cessation part. The moment you see the cessation, that is the middle part. That you are correctly in the healthy way, the broader way, the middle part. Even then, don't attach to it. You understand the contact, the beginning of the contact. With the help of the contact and the beginning of the contact, your mind is slowly going to understand cessation of the contact, cessation of the in-breath, cessation of the out-breath. So that is why, whenever you try to see, you see only the middle, due to your unpreparedness, more and more you become diligent, you are bound to see the beginning and the middle, and ultimately the moment you try to see the beginning, middle and the end, that is called sammasana jnana, the contemplation. That is the first time in the samsara you are trying to see each object has three phases, the beginning, transition period at the end. Ultimately object become irrespective, you bound to see the natural and common character of each and every object. The rising in-breath also have the beginning, the middle and the end. Out-breath also have the beginning, the middle and the end. If you are observing the rising and falling, it also has the beginning, the middle and the end. If you have the step, it is also having the beginning, the middle and the end. So ultimately, you are giving up the individual characteristic and slowly boil down to understand the common character of each and every sankhara, each and every object, that is, everything has a beginning, the middle and the end. So then your mind, your awareness becomes choiceless. It is not selecting, it is good and bad, rising and falling, in-breath and out-breath. Instead, each and every object you see only three phases, beginning, the middle and the end. So that is the door entrance to the insight meditation. Then only the proper insight meditation going to take place.
Are there some people who can't even see that thing physically, due to physical reasons?
That is also one derivative you can get it. Because one breath means two peaks. One tip of in-breath and one tip of out-breath. There are very little blinks. But some people can't feel it. They are not sensitive. That is the very reason Mahasi Sayadaw introduced the rising and falling. For them not to give the heart, give the expectation, this is, instead you can see the rising and falling of the abdomen. Instead of two peaks, rising and falling, you only one big peak. Instead of two waves, it gives one big wave. Therefore, you can't do away with feeling. You have, and otherwise you can keep the hand and feel it. And many are complaining Anapanasati is too subtle. They can't feel it, so therefore they can't. They are deprived of it. There's a very nice story written by Suvimali Karunaratne, Lochi's sister. It is published in Buddhist Publication Society. It's a nice love story. One she-elephant used to go to the Kandi Perahara, and over there she fall in love with another bull-elephant while going on the Perahara. And they are used to go to the Katukastota for a bathing, some or the other. Ultimately, she-elephant become pregnant. And she is full love with that fiancé, and Perahara is going on. Next year when they go there, she become a mother, and really they make another chance to meet over there. Third year, child is 1 year old, that she understands her boyfriend is having an affair with another she-elephant. And then she break the rule and go there and hit that she-elephant. And then Mahmoud come and hit it and tell, behave yourself, what you are doing like that. And then next year when you go there, you see that bull elephant is having a very big sore in the leg, and it is taming, laming and walking and kind of thing. But there is no affair as such, but ultimately she start to feel kind of a feeling, because once a year only get the chance to see, and then next year the bull elephant never appear in the Perahara. Now she has to understand, go. And now she has only one hope, that the calf. And she is staring in a temple. One day a team came and observed, and monk is selling the calf. Now she is confined and so desperate, and she says that the always monks and you come and talk, and they are talking about suffering, suffering, suffering. I thought it is not suffering, it is full of love. Now the life is suffering. Then she says, I must meditate. So she is bounded to a coconut plant close by a meditation hall, and she carefully listens what is the monk is telling. And he says, sit cross-legged, and she says, impossible. But anyway, that monk says, never mind, you can sit on the chair, or you can do whatever. Then she says, I will try while standing. And then keep the attention on the upper lip. And she says, she has no upper lip. And she says, no, it is not for me. Meditation is not for me, because it is touching on the upper lip. And the elephant has no upper lip. And she was so desperate. And next day a nun comes, and she also give a talk. She gives, if you can't find the breathing, if it is very sensitive, you can do walking meditation. She says, that is something. But she says her skin is so hard, very difficult to feel, very difficult to humbling feeling of the ground, the sand. And therefore, she become little desperate, but ultimately she said, and she's well bound tied to the coconut tree. But ultimately she tried to do walking meditation, and she says whenever she step upon a pebbles and kind of thing, she start to feel the touching sensation. And one particular person is asking that nun, when you are walking, if you feel the crumbling feeling of the sand and the kind of, is that the way you expect us to practice? Yes, that is what you have to feel. And she says, now I am through. And then onwards, so you might take the chance, give a full explanation about the walking meditation and explain this is how even the she-elephant start the meditation. Because she can't feel. She has no in-breath and out-breath. But don't give up. Go and do walking meditation. I was so happy to understand even the Buddhist Publication Society published this book. Buddhist Publication is a standard Theravada book, but that book is very classic. The Bodhi leaf one. And first day Suimali come here to invite me for the Malvan temple. Someone told me this is Suimali Karma. Then I told, I have heard about you. I don't know where I read it you. Then all of a sudden, are you the person who wrote about this walking meditation? He says, Bhante, I wrote far away. This is a very thin book. Last time when I go to Dhammajiva, she came. No, she is not in. He is here. She was now a bhikkhuni. She giving talks in the academic center in Kandy. Yeah, and she came just. I give for the Australia. She came and talked, and her brother is the one took the architect of this building, Lochi Indra. And so therefore don't worry about even if you don't feel to this thing, you can do walking meditation or you can do rising and falling of the abdomen or whatever may be.
I asked that question on behalf of my wife.
That I can't appreciate it, but anyway, question is valid. Question is valid. But Venerable Jnanarama used to say, even if they claim that they can't feel it, that is because not that there is no feeling, but mind is very untamed, and it is the threshold value, its sensitivity is very high, so therefore you have to have a very big impact, otherwise you don't feel it. But if such a person can develop Buddhanusati or Metta and calm down the mind, then naturally again the breath can happen. So therefore at the beginning such a people has to find what is the way to concentrate the mind. They can start with Buddhanusati, Metta, usually these are the things, and the Asubha Bhavana also helpful. And once the mind calm down, they start to feel very slight breathing. And by that time they can bridge into the breathing and concentration is very, very smooth than the person who start with the gross Anapana. Okay, now we have taken 1 hour and about 40 minutes, 35 minutes as we scheduled. So we will take 1 hour 2:30 up to 3:30. Sorry, up to 3 o'clock tea break, and then 3 to 4 walking meditation. 4 o'clock we will be meeting here for a sitting. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.